Hello again, it's me. Heat networks. Why? We've mentioned in earlier videos why heat networks can make a lot of sense technically, and they can take heat from sources ordinarily lost or wasted. I mean, why go to all that trouble of designing ways to generate heat when it's already there? We've said this in previous videos. It really does irritate me, and it is so obvious. It's ridiculous. Some people have given me the argument in conversations that if people could see the carbon output, if it was orange, rather than invisible, and they could see the carbon output of gas boilers, for instance, and how it developed and enveloped, I should say, in towns and cities, and everybody could see that it was this bright orange output, they'd be a lot less inclined to just accept it and do something about it. But because it's invisible, nobody sees it, it sort of doesn't exist, and that's wrong. We just can't see it. But if we could see the heat, for instance, that's going up our flues and our chimneys, if it was purple and we were down on the ground floor burning gas, creating more orange, and there's more purple going up the chimney elsewhere, and we could see all that, it would just make no sense to create more heat where heat already exists. That's my point. I'm stretching the point, I know that, but that's the point I'm trying to make. But the other main thing about heat networks, as I said right at the beginning of this video, is they're just so unfamiliar. People are just not aware of them, and they're not aware, therefore, of that benefit and how heat can be utilised and used and so on. So let's try and understand that in this video and what we can do about it. People buy a lot of things out of habit and familiarity. That's a fact. You go to the supermarket, you buy familiar products generally. Why would people spend so much on advertising, if that wasn't the case? It's just to increase awareness of their product and the familiarity that you have with it. Well, we need to do that. What's the heat network industry doing to familiarise people to heat networks? I ask this to anybody who's in the industry that I know and who know me and people who don't know me. What are we actually selling? Just stop, just think about that for a minute. What is it that heat networks actually do? What is the selling point? Who are we selling it to? Just before you blindly sort of think, just have a think. What are we selling? Is it just heat? Simple. Is it low carbon heat? Is it the lowest cost heat? Is it lowest carbon heat? Is it just comfort? Is it convenience? We'll come on to that in a minute. Is it budget control? So people understand what their budget is. Is it a very simple solution? If it's already there in the street, is it a very simple solution? Is it an exciting solution? I want to buy heat that's generated or not generated and utilised from elsewhere. I want to buy into that. Is it just meeting standards that buildings and builders need to meet? Is it meeting corporate goals? There are a million things of what heat networks can provide. But what are we actually selling and who are we selling that to? I think it's worth thinking about that, honestly, as an industry, because I don't think that gets thought through enough. Who are we selling all those benefits to? Now, it's going to be different on every occasion, of course, but knowing and understanding what those customers that you're selling heat networks to is and what their main drivers are, to use a horrible industry phrase, then that overcomes a lot of the barriers. Just imagine a world in which residents are demanding to be connected to heat networks. Just imagine that world. All the other barriers, how many times have you been to meetings about the barriers to heat industry? I hate that word. But all those would disappear overnight if there was thousands and millions of people demanding to be connected to one. I can guarantee you that. How do other industries, let's look at cars, how do other industries sort of overcome this sales angle that they need to establish with their customers? Well, cars, I think, is a good example. Well, first of all, if it was all about price, 95% of car manufacturers wouldn't sell one. It's as simple as that. There are a million reasons people buy this car or that car and so on. But it isn't just about price, is it? It just isn't about price. It's about a variety of factors that lead people to purchase that particular item. But let's not underestimate the familiarity as well. If you had a car that's very familiar, I'll use an example, Ford Focus, that's sat there, everybody knows who Ford are, everybody can see what a Ford Focus is. And then there was an unbranded car that looked very similar to a Ford Focus in every single way, performed better than a Ford Focus in some ways. You wouldn't sell the unbranded car. You would go with the familiarity. Familiarity sells, and people are not familiar with heat networks right now. So, we also have sort of a heat pump solution, don't we? Or a heat network solution sometimes. Do we put heat pumps in? Do we go heat network solution? Well, right now, what's the familiarity of heat networks compared to the growing familiarity of heat pumps? If you didn't know anything about heat networks, what would you choose? You'd probably go with the heat pump solution, as many developers are looking to do. So again, why are they doing that? Because they understand what heat pump is, understand how it can be utilized and so on, without really understanding what heat networks are. So familiarity is key. Coming back to the cars, in the car industry, one huge example of sales strategy and a selling pointer is a 3-year guarantee or a 7-year guarantee. So here's the car, but also alongside that car is a 3 to 7-year guarantee in some cases. People love it. People love that. It's very comforting. One South Korean manufacturer's made a history on the back of those guarantees. People choose them because of the comfort and the guarantee. If something goes wrong, it'll be fixed. Not only are you getting the car, but it will be fixed if it goes wrong, free of charge under the guarantee. That's a positive. It helps your budget. There's no surprises. You're not lost somewhere and having to pay car repairs. It is guaranteed. You're not only buying the car, you're buying the comfort and the guarantee. It will be fixed. Well, most heat networks offer that type of service, don't they, really, in the standing charge, that if anything goes wrong with their system, that will be attended to and replaced as required. And yet we sometimes have to justify that in the heat industry, whereas cars actively sell that as a positive. Well, let's us start talking about the positives. Let's say how good that service is to potential heat users. Make sure they understand the benefits of that. There's no surprise of maintenance or call-out costs or replacement of the HIU. It's all covered. It sells for cars. Why not heat?